Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Players Zone YouTube channel and welcome to our Matchday 2, a recap from the Euros 2024. Wow, if Matchday 1 was good, Matchday 2 was better, if not equal to Matchday 1. It was fantastic, entertaining from start to finish. Every game intriguing, compelling storylines here and there. We've got massive games that ended up equaling group points. We've had a group with every team on 3 points, some teams already qualifying, teams battling to try and get that second place or third place qualification spot. And really, other for England, no real ball fest in this tournament so far. It's been compelling, it's been entertaining, and it's just been one of the great tournaments. And I said, I think, in the last reaction video to Matchday 1, this for me compares to the 2014 World Cup with how good it's been. It has been every game entertaining, no team taking a backward step. And from start to finish, no real team has let us down, realistically. England maybe, but outside of that, every team's entertained, every team is taking it to each other, and has made for one of the great tournaments. There's some great fan atmosphere. We're seeing all this music, the song that's coming out for the tournament as well, what's happening outside and inside the stadiums. It's just got the aura of a great tournament so far, and I think we'll definitely go down in history when you look back at the 2024 Euros as one of the best international tournaments we've had in a very, very long time. Let's get straight into the 5 things we learnt. Starting with number 1, and the 2 p.m. kickoff could solve world peace. It's a bit of an over-exaggeration, but my God, have I loved the 2 p.m. kickoffs. It's been fantastic, especially in this match day here. We got Albania and Croatia with that classic 2-2 draw. Slovenia and Serbia, it was fantastic as well. You got Slovakia and Ukraine coming from 1 goal down to win that game. Georgia and Czechia, 1-1 draw where Georgia were back against the wall, but got a very, very important result there as well. It's just been amazing. The 2 p.m. kickoffs have delivered. And if you have not watched these 2 p.m. kickoffs, you are missing out, ladies and gentlemen. They have been fabulous, and such a shame we're going to lose them now. As Matchday 3 started, we have all these late 8 p.m. or 5 p.m. kickoffs now. So we've lost the cultured time slot, which is the 2 p.m. kickoff. And then you talk about aura, you talk about history. We will look back at the 2 p.m. kickoffs here at Euro 2024 and think how amazing they were. Every single kickoff delivered. In one way or another, with late drama, close games, entertainment, back and forth type basketball games. It had the lot, the 2 p.m. kickoff, and I think in many regards has been delivering the most entertainment from this tournament so far. Definitely for the last match day as well, really, really entertaining. Absolutely loved the 2 p.m. kickoff. That's the first thing I learned. I know it's a bit over-exaggeration, but seriously, when it comes down to it, 2 p.m. kickoff has delivered on a grand scale so far in the Euro 2024 tournament. Second point, a bit more serious. France are not as impressive as I and at least many people first thought. So far in the tournament, the only goal has been an own goal. They kept 0-0 against the Netherlands. Obviously a tough 1-0 grinding out type performance versus Austria. Gave a little bit of leeway versus Austria because I think a lot of how the Austrians play with counter-pressing, high energy. They haven't lost in a long time in international football as well under Ralf Rangnick, the Austrians. So I gave them a little bit of leeway there, and they probably could have scored 1 or 2 more if all things went their way, I guess, in terms of luck. But coming into the Netherlands, yes, they were the better team through some periods, but there's not enough pace, not enough clinical edge in that final third for me. And I touched on it in the video. I handed on about Ousmane Dembele. For me, very disappointing this tournament so far. Has not delivered like he has in the past for the French side. Antoine Griezmann does a great job in terms of in behind, but doesn't add that real next level spark ability to break apart a back four at the current point in time. Marcus Thuram, I think, has been really, really good, but lacked the supply. And obviously, without Mbappe in the last game, you saw how much the side needs him. Coming to this final group game they've got coming up here in match day 3, really important. They trying to click things together and try and throw more numbers forward, be more progressive, play on the front foot more often than not, because I think right now it's teetering along the lines of what England are producing in many regards. It's very, very solid at the back. I can't fault that. The midfield and the defence have been fantastic so far for the French, but going to the final third, the way they play so slowly and sideways, and I guess it's not like a lack of creativity, but it feels like that in games. It feels like they're lacking that dare and desire to go and try and win a game. That's what's making me nervous. I still back the French and it's still going to be my favourites, but the more I've seen them, the less confidence I've got in them. I think Adrien Rabiot, Tchouameni and Kante were fantastic in midfield against the Netherlands. They bossed that game against, I guess, a really undermanned Netherlands midfield. The back, fantastic. William Saliba, much improved in the second game versus the first game. Theo Hernandez at left back, fabulous. It speaks for itself. Magnan in goals, some massive saves against the Dutch as well. So the back four and the 3 central midfielders in front, or will they play 2 in the future, I'm fine with. Antoine Griezmann, fantastic versus the Dutch, in terms of picking the ball up in dangerous spots and creating chances. But it's who's going to perform up top. I said it in my prediction video. I wouldn't mind Barcola being introduced to the side, or Kingsley Coman from the start. Ousmane Dembele for me is not good enough. He hasn't produced in this tournament. He's had a good little few games in the Champions League for PSG, But outside of that, this season, very underwhelming. The output has not been there for the French Giants, and he is continuing that sort of poor form he had at Barcelona in terms of injury and lack of creativity and lack of output. Give someone else a chance. It's a bold call to make, and it's something that Didier Deschamps does not like to do. He doesn't like to go away from his trusted players, but Mbappe can do a job. Marcus Thuram for me is doing a job. It's Ousmane Dembele that's letting me down. He was up against Nathan Ake, a centre-half, naturally playing at left-back, and only tried to skip past him once. And when he did, he got him behind. So I think his delivery has been poor. His running in behind has been poor. His desire to go forward has been poor. I think it's time to make a change there, because right now France don't look that deadly side. I thought there'd be a team that put 3 or 4 past many teams. I thought they put a few past the Netherlands going into the tournament. I thought that what might happen, because the Netherlands are a team that likes to go after games, try to win games in the front foot. So I thought they'd get the better of them. But we've seen so far in this tournament, an own goal against Austria, 0-0 against the Netherlands. Hasn't been really clear sign. There've been a few clear cut chances in front of goal, but no clear signs of overwhelming dominance in games, and that's a bit of a worry going forward with the French side going to knockout football, especially with how even that can be. So that's my second point there. The third point, goalkeepers standing up for their sides. Mamardashvili and Tomas Strakosha, fantastic for their respective sides. Georgians, backs against the wall. Touched on some of the stats for Mamardashvili in a little bit, but massive save after massive save. I think the most saves recorded, or equal most saves recorded in the European Championship final game, according to Sofa score there as well. Massive big moments, one-on-one saves, denying some massive chance and keeping Georgia in the game versus a really, really tough early fixture where, yes, they dropped that game, it's all over, but they kept themselves in against Czechia and get a fabulous result that gets a slim hope to a third-place qualification spot alive, which is really, really massive, and it's all down to Mamardashvili in goal. And then Tomas Strakosha as well for Albania, fantastic. They also got a hard-fought draw against Croatia. He made some massive saves down the stretch, and for both keepers, if their forwards are taking chances come the end of both respective games there, we could be speaking about wins for their respective sides, but both kept their teams engaging. Talked about also about Manjan, Bart Verbruggen as well, keepers that made some massive saves in their respective games as well. So important, keepers make big saves at big moments in these sort of tournaments. It's a moments type game, tournament football, when these keepers, with what they've done, especially Mamardashvili and Tomas Strakosha, fantastic for their nations that are small nations in the tournament, definitely the bottom 2 ranked sides, but keeping their nations in games through their individual brilliance. So I had to touch on them and the importance that goalkeepers will play, I guess, coming up into matchday 3 and into the knockouts, because you get a keeper that can deny certain goals. That's what keeps you in games. That's what gives you confidence. It changed the momentum of games. You saw that Albania could have gone on and won that game late. And Georgia especially, a counter-attack late against Czechia. I think it was a one-on-one opportunity. It was blasted over the crossbar. That's when you think back to those moments. The keeper's done all the hard work. You've got to put those chances away and nick a win from certain defeat. So fantastic on those 2 keepers in this latest round. And a sign of things that come, I think, for teams who go deep, you need your keeper to be on the song. Coming to our fourth point, Austria are going to be a serious problem in this tournament. I think a lot of people now are changing their dark horses to be Austria. I've touched on their style of football with Ralf Rangnick, counter-pressing and pressing. It's a very energetic system. Marcel Sabitzer in there in midfield is a key playmaker for the side. Gregovic up top is a clinical striker when he gets into opportunities as well. And you look at that back line with Danso as well. Some real familiar faces in the side, but it's the work rate of this unit, the way they get at teams. They limited the chances that the French side had. They well and truly beat up in that second game there in match day 2 as well. And it's just a sign of things to come, I feel like. That Polish side went nowhere near Austria in many regards for me. They just outworked them, outplayed them. Marko Arnautovic on the score sheet up top as well. There's some real experienced face in this squad. They play a really, really solid football. And they haven't lost a lot of, I think it's like 2 or 3 games in the recent history, in the last 10 or 12 games they've actually played Austria, that they've only lost. So they've been really, really consistent. They've been a winning side. They've been a tough to beat side because of the way they implement this high energy, high pressing style of football. It's hard to get at. The French struggled. Poland were very, very struggled a lot against this sort of system here. And it goes against the big side. I think they could get the better of Portugal playing this system. See how Czechia went up against them. To definitely get the better of the Dutch. Playing this style of football here. Definitely get the better of England right now where they're playing their style of football. And you never know, a Spanish side that likes to play in possession, they might be overwhelmed by the pressure that the Austrians provide. So whoever they draw in the knockout stages, that round of 16 tie is going to be very, very interesting to see how it all lines out, because they're a tough team to match up against. They're a tough team to deal with. Whether they're with the ball or without the ball, the Austrian side look very, very deadly going both ways. So definitely a team that's going to cause some problems, and we've seen that across the first 2 match days, picking up 4 points from the first 2 games. And now coming, oh, sorry, not 4 points, I think they're 1 point. 3 points, sorry, for the first two games. Obviously, they got lost that game to France. Just past mama, I thought they got a draw in that game there. Finally, Spain is the best squad for me. I think it's been a clear sign early on here. Germany, obviously, many people's favourites. They got some momentum, but the Spanish style, the way they play with the ball and without the ball, the way they can play with high possession and low possession, we've seen that now in both different games, the way they've matched up. And against two tough teams in Croatia and also with Italy as well, two teams that could win games in different fashions. Croatia being a tough tournament team, a team that's make themselves tough to break down and can get you on the counter-attack with some midfield quality. Then versus an Italian side that also has midfield quality, but a team that can use some more star power up top with like the Chiesa, Scamacca, Fratesi, Pellegrini as well. So a bit more viable options up top. Also very solid at the back, but play a little bit more in possession. I like to control the game a little bit more, but they've dealt with both teams and dealt with them quite easily in the end. Could have been heaps more against the Italians, only the 1-0 win, but dominated from start to finish. We've seen the youngsters show what they're all about. Fabian Ruiz, back-to-back fantastic games for his side there as well. I think it's a positive sign the way they've won different ways. Leno Mann at the back's been very impressive. Cucurella's playing in elite level football right now, the best we've seen since those Brighton days. Danny Carvajal, experience, that veteran leadership at the back. Uno Simon in goal, doesn't make many mistakes at there as well. Rodri, a guy that consistently wins, doesn't lose many games of football as well. It's such a balanced side. Pedri midfield, fantastic versus Italy as well. I can't see many holes in this team. And you've got the bench depth as well. Zubimendi off there, Mika Moreno. You think about Nacho Fernandez, missed that game with injury in the second game there. So much quality. Grimaldo off the bench. Ferran Torres as well. So much talent, so much depth. And I feel like that will be their strength once again. As we go deep in this tournament, the ability to win in different ways, the depth off the bench to bring players off the bench to try and change the game. Like a Mikel Oyarzabal off the bench could definitely win a game off his own boot there. The quality they've got, the X factor they've got all over the park, and the consistency. I think it's the biggest thing for me. These players scream consistency. There's a system in place now that they can win in multiple ways. They're confident when they go on the pitch there. And I think outside of Germany, in terms of form, no one's equal to their form, but they've beaten the bigger units. They've showed versatility in their style of football. And as such, for me, they're the best squad right now in the European Championship. They've got a squad, they've got the depth, they've got the talent. I think on talent level, right now, number one for me, in terms of showing what they're all about. So, very, very, very dangerous team. They should finish top of their group now. Interesting to see who they face in the round of 16 and how easy their run is. Because if they get an easier run, getting towards the semi-final can be relatively unharmed or unchallenged, then you've got a real serious proposition here because they will be well rested. They would have got confidence for some big results, and they could go and tear this European Championships off one of the big guys, being the French, English, Portugal, these sort of big sides that came to the tournament as some of the big favourites. And they could have just slid under the radar, the Spanish side. They've been very, very impressed so far in this tournament. So there's my 5 things I learned. The 2 p.m. kickoff being fantastic. France not being as impressive as I and many first thought. Mamardashvili and Strakosha saving their teams and showing the importance of great goalkeepers this tournament. Austria will be a team that caused problems in the round of 16, I think. And then Spain having the best squad right now and being in the best form for me. Coming down to the team of the match day. Starting goal, he said him, Georgi Mashvadili versus Czechia. 11 saves, 3 goals prevented, 6 saves from inside the box, and 5 accurate long balls with a 9.8 match rating on SofaScore. I've not seen anything anywhere near that for a very long time on SofaScore. Fantastic in this game. Getting that early kick-off there. It was under the pump, the Georgian side. They only had 1 shot when they scored their first goal, showing how defensive they had to be, limited chance they had, and how on top the Czechia side was. And they're a dangerous unit. Patrick Schick up top there. Players been some decent form for Leverkusen. Overwhelming wingbacks pushing on and providing that pressure as well. But Mamardashvili was in the way of everything that seemed to go anywhere near the goal. And only conceding 1 goal in that game, preventing 3, shows a level of how you perform that. Fantastic performance and one of the great performances so far in this European Championship finals. Coming to left back for me, it's Marc Cucurella. Fantastic versus Italy. 8.5 match rating. The 2 clearances, 3 interceptions, 5 tackles, winning 8 out of 10 ground duels, 73 touches, 98% pass accuracy, 3 key passes, 2 big chances created. I guess can be put down in terms of inadvertent assist for the own goal against Calafiori there against Italy. Fantastic up and down that wing back position there. Consistent now. Carried over from the Croatia game into the Italian game. And showed us what Chelsea bought him for. When he was at Brighton, he had that ability to get up and down the flank, to be really, really good into a challenge, win the ball back quickly, and then going forward, he's really, really talented with the ball at his feet. He can carry the ball, can find the pass, and can break apart a team with his willingness to continue to throw his numbers forward and to keep attacking oppositions. And he showed that there in that game versus the Italians. What for me, one of the best performances we've seen from a wing back in this tournament so far. So fantastic for Marc Cucurella. Centre halves, gone with Virgil van Dijk, who played France. 8 clearances. I feel like every cross that went into the box was headed away by Virgil van Dijk. He made only lost the one area duel and ground duel in that game. Made 59 touches, 92% pass accuracy, 2 accurate long balls, kept the clean sheet. As I say, whenever the French put a ball into the area, Virgil van Dijk was there in the way to deny them. Was so good in this game. Again, won the ball. We expect that from him. His ability to pass out from the back, coolness and calmness in possession to play past a mini press that the French implemented at times. But also, I guess, number one is his defensive acumen there, keeping very talented French side out, not conceding many massive opportunities. Think about the Griezmann 2 chances, probably the 2 biggest chances. But outside of that, wasn't many clear-cut, easy-to-score opportunities, and that's down to Virgil van Dijk and his partnership with Stefan de Vrij in many regards as well. But Virgil van Dijk stood out for me as that brick wall against the French side there. And his centre-back partnership, I've gone with Pepe, who played Turkey. He was very good against his side. 7 clearances, 1 interception, 3 tackles, 5 out of 8 ground duels, 1, 83 touches, 97% pass accuracy. Seemed to always be in the way. And when they were exploited at times when they threw numbers forward, was Pepe getting back to make the tackle or usher the Turkey player away from goal or prevent them having easy avenues to goal. And at the age of 41, he doesn't look like an age. He doesn't look he's a day older than 22. He's looking really good in this tournament here, looking fresh, looking solid at the back, and not lost that sort of quick first step to close down spaces. Obviously, ridiculously strong into challenges, doesn't allow anything past him. And for me, showing that he's, despite being one of the older centre-backs, still one of the best centre-backs in Europe, and standing out and re-establishing himself as one of the best in this tournament here, because he hasn't put a foot wrong so far in this tournament, and calm on the ball, so into a challenge. Not much better than Pepe at this current point in time. So he's the centre-back partner alongside Virgil van Dijk. At right back, it's Zan Kasinic. Fantastic performance for him against Serbia. The 7.8 match rating, the goal, 3 clearances, 2 block shots, an interception, and a tackle as well. 4 to 7 ground duels, 176 touches with 2 out of 6 accurate long balls as well. Up and down that right side, consistent in that game. They got the goal to go with it. But the commentator said it quite rightly in the game. He was one of the most bright sparks for the side going forward in terms of creating opportunities, scoring obviously his own chance, but being a willing runner. And you see that a lot, I guess, in different fullbacks. But the quality he was providing down that channel was the reason why he stood out for me and stood out to many commentators as well. It was a willingness to run in behind, a willingness to run around the outside as an overlapper, but then provide quality as well. And the goal is a testament to that, and a fantastic game against against a really solid side in Serbia that's normally really solid at the back and a tough side to beat. So really impressive performance from Jan Kanasinik in that game there. Coming now to our midfielders, I've gone with another 4-2-2-2 in this team of the match day. In the deeper position is Adrien Rabiot. Versus the Netherlands, 8.2 match rating, 79 touches, 97% pass accuracy with the 4 key passes, the 1 big chance created, winning all of his ground duels, 7 out of 7, and 3 tackles as well. It's carried off from when he left off in that first game, but just improved even better. Won every ground duel that was in the area, tended to pick the ball up and find the right pass, great in transition, and he should have scored a chance. I think he gave off too many. He was too unselfish in that game there, but got into dangerous spots inside the box as well, drove the French forward, and him and Kante were doing well defensively, but going forward, they were the ones actually pushing the French forward and giving them the spark going into the final third. So a fantastic all-around performance for him, showing why he's often linked to many clubs amongst the top 5 European leagues. When he's in the right system, he can flourish, and he has showed that there in this French side, alongside N'Golo Kanté, and then with Tchouaméni as well, sitting a bit deeper. He was allowed to show what he's all about, drifting out wide left as well to help out, I guess, provide that width going forward as well. Fantastic performance for him. A real true to number 8 box-to-box type performance, covering off defensively, picking the ball up, driving the ball forward, and getting chances in the box as well. So full, complete performance from him there. Joining him in the centre midfield, I've got Ilkay Gundogan versus Hungary. 8.4 match rating, a goal and an assist in that game there. 52 touches, 2 key passes, a big chance created, and 85% pass accuracy. Obviously, the German side, he plays sort of in that number 10 role, but it's been fantastic in this tournament and really consistent. A symbol of what the German teams are all about. Creativity in the final third, willingness to drive into areas, smarts on the ball as well. And I feel like for him, it's the IQ to be able to make the right decision at the right time. And he's done that now consistently. And the goal and the assist, quality throughout, just oozes what Ilkay Gundogan's all about. And you see it there from there as well. Willingness to take the game on. Only gets 52 touches in this more progressive role, but makes the most of every touch he gets. And played that role to a T in that game versus Hungary, and was very, very important for that Germany side to be really, really dominant over Hungary side. Now it's the two number 10s, and they're both from one team, Manchester City. Bernardo Silva for me is the first number 10 I'm going to play. He was fantastic versus Turkey. 1 goal, 69 touches, 92% pass accuracy with 4 key passes, 1 big chance created, scored the early goal to make the game 1-0 and get Portugal up and running in that game, where the game was a little bit in the balance, bit back and forth in the early periods, but scored that important goal to get them in the right direction, was pivotal on the ball, always made the right decision, and created a lot of chances, it felt like, with his running in behind, which is something you wouldn't think about Bernardo Silva, but he gets a lot of space due to Rafael, Cristiano Ronaldo, and also Bruno Fernandes in behind the striker. So a lot of space for Bernardo Silva to operate on the right-hand channel. Did a fantastic job linking the game up, being an option for the midfielders to release to, and then being someone who can pick the ball up and drive in behind that back four for Turkey. As I said, scored an important goal at an important time with a cool, calm finish. Was vital for the chance creation, linking the game up going forward, and show what he does for Man City off that right-hand channel, which was consistently create, consistently be a viable option, and someone that's dangerous when the ball's at his feet. So another fantastic performance for Bernardo Silva, who's looking like a bit of a dark horse, one of those underrated players in the tournament so far. The other number 10 is Kevin De Bruyne versus Romania. 8.6 match rating, a fantastic goal for him. 68 touches, 3 key passes, 100% long ball accuracy, 3 out of 4 successful dribbles, 11 out of 16 ground duels won, 4 tackles as well. He did everything, and he carried this Belgium side. They needed a massive result versus Romania, otherwise they'd be stuck at the bottom of the group, and he produced it. He saw there 4 tackles, but also 3 out of 4 successful dribbles. Doing it at both ends of the park, scored a massive goal for them. When the ball at his feet, I felt like the Romanians couldn't touch him. It just gave off, it oozed that classic Kevin De Bruyne where he just dominated the game from start to finish. One of the best individual performances so far in this tournament from outfield players, compared to what Fabian Ruiz put up there, Vitinha put up there. For me, they're probably one of the best midfield performances we've seen so far. When Belgium needed it, he was there and produced at a really, really high level. So for me, probably the performer of the match day outside of Mamardashvili. So really, really impressive on Kevin De Bruyne and deserving of joining this team of the match day. Now my 2 forwards, starting off with Patrick Schick versus Georgia. Got a very important goal, 7.8 match rating, 33 touches, 1 key pass, 5 out of 7 aerial duels won. Not a classic Patrick Schick type performance, but obviously picked up the injury, which is not really unfortunate. I think it looks like a lower calf injury, but scored a really important goal just after half time to equalise against the Georgian side, who obviously took the lead through Mika Dutse in first half stoppage time. Really, really good from the front. Was available, an option for the Czechia side. And showed his clinical nature just to bundle the ball over close to goal. That's a real poacher's effort. That's something what we've come used to with Patrick Schick. So important goal at an important time. Again, not many strikers really standing out, but I think his work with and without the ball is the reason he stood out for me in a really entertaining game versus the Georgian side, and a goal that the Czechia side desperately needed, and they supplied it there through Patrick Schick. So fantastic. Real clinical strikers type goal in a poacher's area there to find the back of the net. So Patrick Schick plays up top for me. And alongside him is Nico Williams, who was amazing with Italy. 4 successful dribbles, 1 big chance miss, obviously hitting the crossbar as well, alongside putting a header wide of the goal face. 60 touches, 5 ground duels, 1 big chance created. Was vital in the left-hand channel alongside Mark Cucurella. That's why they're both in this side here. Pivotal to obviously creating their own goal as well. He was really, really impressive. Lamine Yamal stood out for me in match day 1, and it was Nico Williams this match day that stood out for me as well. Obviously, with the great midfield quality you've got, you're going to get opportunities, you're going to get chances. They're going to be supplied to you by those great midfielders, but you've got to make something out of it, and he did that to fantastic extent here. Him and Lamine Yamal, they had that ability that, despite being so young, they know to be composed, to take time on the ball, and to sometimes play backwards or sideways, as that's the right option, not just drive in the line or drive straight at goal and smash a wild shot over the crossbar. They make a lot of right decisions. I can't think of many times where he made the wrong decision in that game and in the first game, Nico Williams, and really stood out to me. Maybe I'm just harping on these young stars, but showing me about the young stars, how they're going to dominate this tournament here, and I'm seeing it here through Nico Williams in this second match day here. Stood out against an Italian backline. It's not really, really solid, but Di Lorenzo had an awful day at the office. Nico Williams had him on skates for most of the game, and that shows against one of the top right backs in the world, to have him worried and all over the place for most of the game shows the quality that Nico Williams has, and deserving to be in this team of the match day. So that brings the team to an end, running from top to bottom. Mamardashvili in goal, Cucurella at left back, Zan Kanasic at right back, Pepe and Virgil van Dijk as centre-half. In midfield, Adrien Rabiot and Ilkay Gundogan, with Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne playing the number 10 spot. And up top, I got Patrick Schick and Nico Williams leading the line in a front two. Coming towards the end here of the recap, now to our goal of the match day, and it has to be Morten Højlund. What a goal from well and truly out to the box against England. A smashing finish, an important finish at that time to draw level against the English side where Harry Kane scored early. And I thought that momentum would continue on. He actually had a good all-round type performance for the Danish down that midfield. I touched them in my prediction video for match day 3. That midfield's been performing at such a high level with Højbjerg and also Christian Eriksen, that midfield duo alongside Højlund as well. So really, really impressive performance from him with a fantastic belting strike from outside the box. And we've been blessed with some belters so far in this tournament. That one has to go up there alongside Arda Güler and Stanchu to some of the best hits we've seen so far in this tournament, and a really, really massive goal and quite easy the goal of the match day for me. Then to the game of the match day, no surprise it comes from the 2 p.m. kickoffs, and for me I've chosen the Croatia 2, Albania 2 game, back and forth, a late goal in that game to draw level for Albania despite momentarily going down 2-1 after being equal, 1-1 going into the stoppages there, and then Croatia score, and then Albania score right at the end, and a chance then for Croatia to go and win it right at the end, at the other end as well. It was back and forth in the final moments, counter-attack after counter-attack. It was basically the basketball game. That was what it felt like, end-to-end, ping-pong, you go, I go, attack after attack. The substitute coming on and scoring the goal as well after giving the own goal away as well. It had it all. Had all the drama, what you wanted a football match, and 4 goals as well. We were blessed. And a really, really entertaining game from the 2 p.m. kickoffs there. So quite easy for me, the game of the match day. Could have given it to many other 2 p.m. kickoffs as well with how entertaining they all were in match day 2. But that was my pick, Croatia 2, Albania 2, as my game of the match day. With that being said, ladies and gents, that brings this video, a recap for match day 2 from the Euros, to an end. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, guys, smash a like on it, subscribe to the Players Zone channel, and press that post notification bell. Make sure you put in the comment section, what was your highlights of the match day? Who was your player of the match day? What is your team of the match day? And what are you most looking forward to coming into match day 3 and to the knockout stages? With that being said, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the upcoming football for match day 3 here, and have a great rest of your day. That being said, ladies and gents, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.